Welcome back, everyone, to yet another amazing episode of Hotel Talk. And today I have with us a doctor. So definitely not a hotelier, but someone who I did finally meet in the hotel. Dr. Cesar Daoud is from Lebanon, like myself, and is now living in Cyprus. So we've got a lot in common there. And I have heard his name for, I can't even think how long. People saying, wow, he's helped them with all types of ailments to overcome different difficulties and trauma and pain. He's an osteopath, traditionally Western trained osteopath, but he specializes in Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and dare I use this word, alternative medicine, meaning just not the Western way that we're used to. I have not actually had the pleasure yet to use your medical side, but I will be there for my next soon.
Pleasure.
And Cesar came to the hotel recently to have a wonderful event talking about longevity, which is also a subject that I love. So welcome, Cesar. We finally met in the hotel.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hence the Hotel Talk connection.
Yeah.
So Cesar, that was quite a long intro. I'd love for you to tell the listeners a little bit about you, about, let's start at the beginning, where you grew up, how you decided to get into medicine, and which led you to becoming an osteopath, but then look into Chinese medicine and why that's important. So maybe we can start at the beginning and
Farah, thank you so much for having me today here in this podcast and surrounded by your wonderful energy again. Thank you so much. Well, I have to say that as you mentioned about my workshop that I have done 2 weeks ago in the hotel here, San Rafael, well, I was really honored to be here because the satisfaction that I had personally and professionally and from also the attendees' reviews that the service was very professional, the food, so everything, all the context was really amazing coming from the resorts, San Rafael. So thank you so much for this opportunity. So to introduce myself, I'm Cesar Daoud. I was born in Beirut. I'm French Lebanese actually. So I have done my studies in Europe and France. In London, so in France, I have done my osteopathy degree, masters.
And you're French Lebanese. Are both your parents from Lebanon, or
yeah.
But you spent a lot of time in France.
I'm French citizen also. So I have done my studies in France, my masters in osteopathy and posturology. I have done in London also IV nutrient therapy. So it's all about injecting vitamins and supplements and minerals through intravenous, through the veins, or through intramuscular or subcutaneous.
Which has become, I think there's been quite a lot of coverage on that recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think even here I saw recovery kind of lounges or people taking intravenous for hangovers.
Yeah, absolutely. We have some protocols for this too. But it's very important, we need always to pay attention on how to use any technique, and to personalize any technique that we are doing. Because nowadays we have some franchise in this field, IV nutrient therapy, that they have ready-made protocols. So there's some people that they are satisfied from their results, from their experience, and some other people that they said, we didn't feel anything, so they didn't have the value of it.
Yeah.
So this is why it's always better to ask for more personalized treatment, so it depends on the dosage of the vitamins, the minerals that it will be injected. Yes, of course. So as anything, actually. So we need to personalize any kind of treatment that we are giving or we are having to be more valued. So I have done also in Amsterdam body composition. So all about the constitution of the body composition. I have done in Manchester and everything concerning sports injuries and prevention. And my Chinese medicine advanced studies, I had the luck to do it in China. So
Wow, how was that?
and here I can say it was really a life-changing experience on professional and personal level. Eventually, the first impression I had once I started my daily life in China, it was like seeing the people, their behavior, their culture, their habits, daily habits. And one of the story that really I can imagine it always, every day. So I was living in a tower, and every day in the morning I was looking, I had a big park down the building. So I was seeing like a lot of people, like I can say maybe, I don't know, 1,000 people. They are well disciplined. They were doing their Tai Chi, all of them the same movement. And I was like fascinated. Wow, it's lovely to see that much of people they are doing in nature, to do this activity. And I said, it's gonna be impressive to see this master coach that he was guiding that much of people at the same time with that much discipline, you know. So I decided to go down, and it was at 6 o'clock in the morning before going to my work and to my studies. And I started looking, where's this master or coach, you know? So I started looking and looking, and eventually there were no one. So the people was simply disciplined by themselves. They were like, whenever, and I asked someone actually, he told me, no, you can stand up anywhere you want, and you just follow us. You do the movement like we are doing.
And there is a sequence that they all know.
Yeah, of course. So they were doing
Yeah.
Tai Chi or Qigong, you know, so it's kind of medicinal martial art. So it's not just for body movement, it's for health overall. So it's a mixture of meditation, spirituality, physical movement. So it's a complete activity that it's advisable really to be done by everyone. So yes, so they told me, you can look at us and try to imitate us and to do like us, and to live the experience. And this is what I have done. And it was really when you are surrounded by discipline, people that they are living this activity, living this culture, not just trying to put an effort, you know, to do something that it's uncomfortable for them. No, it's their daily routine, daily habit in their culture to do those things. And I realized actually that it's more the big difference I can say that I saw on a personal level, that we have in comparison that we have in the Western world and in comparison to the Eastern world, you know. So they are still in China close to themselves, the people, you know. It's not like all about what's coming from life, from the work, from business, from busy life, from running here and there, you know. So they were more into, you can see them, they have this natural approach to themselves actually, and by nature. So it was really, it got my attention actually to yes, maybe this is something that it's more important than just learning new techniques or learning new medicine or new technologies or new business strategies, you know. It's to go back to us, to the human part of us, you know. And this was, I said really to myself, like, I will be introducing this into my practice, into my professional practice, and into my personal life, for me, for my family, for my friends, to always stay connected to ourselves, not just looking for the others, not just by looking to different techniques coming from the others to help us. We need to help ourselves first. We need to stay in contact with ourselves first, so to be able to improve things and to start, of course, learning from the others, and to be aware that we can do this also from the other, but starting from ourselves. So that was
Finding
it
your own
was,
peace.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And this is, I think, this is, if you wanna like answer what's peace, peace, I think, is as long as you are in contact with yourself, you will be in peace, and it will be easy to catch. It's not gonna be a struggle to look for peace, where I can find peace, and if I will be having more financial power or more social power. It's not this, actually. It's coming from inside of us. Yeah.
So what was it as the young Cesar, a young boy, what was it that made you want to do medicine?
Well, actually, in my family, so we have a lot of conventional doctors. So medicine doctors. So my uncle, my cousins, so we are in this field in health.
Okay. So you grew up with that surrounding,
yes.
and maybe that expectation.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got easily attracted with your idols that in the beginning they are your family.
Mentors, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what then led you to be interested in in less Western medicine, maybe, and more Eastern?
Yeah, eventually, as everything in life comes from personal experience. And well, as I said, we grew up in a healthy family. So we were paying attention. So we have this approach of, we know health exists. It's not just, again, business. And so we was taking care of ourselves. And my father, he was actually he was a musician, and he was a completely healthy person, always balanced, zen. Everything was like, really, he was an idol for us and for the rest of the family. And he was very close to his father. So we used to be, or they used to live in the north of Lebanon, from Batroun. And my father and his father, my grandfather, so they went to Beirut to live in Beirut and to have their professional life in Beirut. So he grew up with his father. And they were really like kind of friends together, So they lived, like, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 years together. So one day he lost his father. So we lost our grandfather. And because he was very attached to him, actually it affected him emotionally a lot. But again, because he is a balanced guy, he is a Zen guy, so we didn't see any symptoms or signs that he is not good emotionally. It took him maximum a year after that, after the loss of our grandfather, to start feeling tired. And okay, he went to the hospital and he started doing all kind of tests, MRIs, blood tests, anything that the conventional medicine would, I can say, really by excellence approach, this technology, those researchers and all those tests, it's very good coming from the conventional medicine. So they have done everything for him, and it was like, it's weird, we are not finding anything. Why it's happening, So what's happening? So So yeah, they started, yeah, maybe it could be stress or anything stressful. No, it was very balanced. It was, we are good, you know. So it wasn't, no one made the link, you know, from the loss of
Yeah.
our grandfather. And actually, he was in the hospital. He was doing his test, and he did a heart failure in the hospital.
Oh my
And
goodness.
we lost our father just
While he was in
that
the
in the
hospital.
hospital, that fast, that easy, without being sick, physically sick, let's say. Uh, and yeah, and after that, you know, to have a conclusion, so our uncles and cousins that are, they were in the team that they were looking for his health, you know. They said, yeah, usually when it's happened like this, yeah, it's, we cannot find actually any disease or any dysfunction in the body. So this is something that we call autoimmune disease. So it's your immunity, so it's yourself from inside of you start to fight with himself, you know. So it's as if, in other term, the body is struggling from the inside to manage the thing. And here it started to like, it was intriguing for me, like how we have, you know, we have in the family. So it's not like, yeah, we are counting on someone stranger, a stranger doctor or team, you know. No, it was something like his close brother and nephew. They were taking care of him, and even with this, there was something missing, and we lost our father. And this what led me to go into. I didn't eventually wanted to go into psychology or you know. So I wanted something more uh, that giving us more approach into physical
Yeah.
and
Gonna say
emotional
to
at the
heal the
same
physical
time.
side. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one why I went into this direction, and eventually with the experience I have done, this is why I traveled a lot to do from different direction, different techniques to be able to gather from all the part of the world what I can gather as techniques for me.
It's amazing. And thank you for sharing such a profound story with us. I think and you would know better than me, but more and more research is coming out now. I mean, I'm very also really into nutrition and how the gut health is completely linked to the brain. They call it the small brain. The cells starts, you know, when we're in our mother's womb, and they're the same cells that then get divided, and some make up the brain and some make up the gut. And then so much research is coming out about the heart.
Absolutely.
So when people say I've got a gut instinct, it's no longer just, you know, a theory. Like there can actually be a gut instinct. Or when people say my heart hurts or I feel love in my heart, there is feeling there.
Yeah.
And so possibly your father did die of a broken heart and losing
absolutely. Like, as
losing
you
his
say, literally,
soulmate.
you know,
Yeah,
like,
literally. Because also, I believe our soulmates are not just the partners we may or may not end up with, but we can be born into families where we have soulmates. We can meet friends who are soulmates.
Yeah.
And maybe his own father was his soulmate,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
he couldn't live without him.
Absolutely.
Bless him.
Yeah.
So, what brought you to Cyprus?
So Cyprus,
Cyprus.
in 2020, we were working in Beirut. So we're having also one of the biggest integrative health center in Beirut with different branches, big team, and the business was doing fantastic. And you know, it's always unstable in Beirut situation.
To say the least.
So yeah, so unfortunately, so but in 2020 we had also COVID. So in the meantime, COVID from one side, and we started having a economical or financial crisis in Lebanon. So and I saw it before it went really down, the situation. So I said, okay, COVID, financial crisis in the country, we don't have a good, strong structure in the country. So I think we are going really down. So let's save ourselves. And we decided from a day to another to shut down our business and to go for a different or somewhere that is more safe, let's say, for us as a family and for my kids.
You have 2 children, don't you?
Yes. So my daughter, she's 13, and my son, he's 9. So, and we wanted to give them a decent life, without overall life is we have some bad and good experiences. So it's already, we will be having some ups and downs in the normal life. So why to go into real struggle of country that is unstable? So we didn't want it to go to France because also we have the family in France. All big cities nowadays, in our opinion, they are not safe for kids, So to go to France also, it's not safe at all to leave your kids, to go out with their friends and all of this. So we didn't want to go and be with a family in France. So we said, okay, what other choice we have?
Look at the map. Where's close?
Even faster than this, Google.
Yeah.
So I opened Google and I said, Google, give me the safest country in Europe for families. And the answer was from Google, of course, a big list. So they started from the extreme north of Europe, like Norway,
Nordic countries,
Sweden, or, So, and it was Switzerland, it was all cold countries. We cannot imagine yourself used to the Mediterranean, to this weather, the sun, And funny enough, it was number 4 or 5, Cyprus. So we said, wow, it's, I think, the best scenario. It's in between France and Lebanon, in between the family in France and Lebanon. So our movement, it can be easy. And it's a small population, it's a small country. So yes, it will be good for the family, for us, for the kids. So let's give it a chance. So we gathered our staff and we registered the kids in school, well, in Nicosia, because eventually the French school,
like my cousins,
we have it just in Nicosia. So we said, okay, let's go to Nicosia, because whenever you move to an island, you imagine yourself sitting on the beach, waking up with a nice sea view. But okay, it's never perfect.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's never perfect. So we registered the kids in Cyprus, and we came without any commitment, like professional commitments or engagement, nothing. So we were just really focusing on the family. So we came here, we moved here, we looked for our house, where to sit next to the school and all of this, and we started building up over and over our life, our personal and professional life. And I started eventually practicing in Nicosia first, and then a month after, I started practicing in Limassol. So now I do my consultation in Nicosia and Limassol. And it's going better and better each year. We are working hard to be able to be present, to give our services, let's say, to make the people benefit from our services. And I wasn't really worried about my profession or giving this, because I believe that what I have gathered as professional experience and studies, they are unique, so it's a unique approach. So I said, usually in a small country, it's word of mouth, it's what as long as you are giving a good results, a good approach, it's gonna be fast. It's gonna be easy. So this is what's happening. Actually, we are super happy, and I'm very lucky also to say that I have my wife. She worked with me. She's not in this field, but she's in the management field and communication. So really, I'm very lucky because she's responsible of all this communication that we are doing to my work, and I'm on the floor, operational. So I'm doing the service as it should be,
Yeah.
and she's doing the communication as
Yeah,
it
it's a
should
good
be.
balance.
So, and here we are after 3 years. We are super happy to see where are we today. The kids are super happy with their professional, with their personal, and friends and all the community.
Academic, yeah.
And with us the same. It's really we are going from better to better. People, they are knowing more my approach. They are appreciating. They are benefiting from what I do. So we are on the right track, as we
Oh,
said.
I'm so happy
Yeah.
for you guys.
Yeah.
So let's get a little bit more into medicine then and mindsets. So you have a mission to offer your patients a life without pain. And I think so many people can resonate with that. So many people live in chronic pain now, and they just think it's a norm. And many people go to different doctors and they say, well, that's it. It's genetic, or you were born like that, or this is now your ailment and you've got to live with it. We've already discussed a bit why that's important to you. I mean, you mentioned your father, but how can people avoid falling into this pitfall or pit hole rather, of living a life in pain? How can people live a healthier, better life? And I also wanted to ask you about acupuncture and its relevance and importance.
Yeah. What's very good nowadays, so I'm going to start from here. The science, or the Western medicine, and the science researchers behind the Western medicine, in combination with the with the Eastern approach or medicine, they are getting closer nowadays. And I'm very happy because in the beginning, when I started this approach, so it was kind of a voodoo technique, like, yeah, what are you practicing? Is it magic? Does it really, we believe in this or not? Do you believe in this or not? So nowadays, it's not like this anymore. So
The science is supporting
the science
a
is
lot
supporting
of the
exactly.
Eastern medicine, yeah.
And what's good also is I can say how they are complementing each other, those two approach or medicine. In the Eastern medicine, we have a lot of experience, practical experience since thousands of years. And in the Western medicine, they are more into researchers. They are more into technology, test. So also in this, they are very advanced, and it's very appreciated also. So this combination between thousands of years of experience into the health in general, and now we have the Western medicine. They are and they are supporting with their researchers. So we can say that now we can a little bit understand more when we say we have done when a normal person, he is in pain, or he is struggling with some discomfort, with some any kind of symptoms he's having. Eventually, even though I practice the Chinese medicine, when they come to me, I tell them, have you done all your tests before? Did you do this test and this blood test, MRI, X-ray, everything that we can really benefit from the Western technology to benefit from this? So I advise to people to go and to do all kind of tests in the beginning. And if we see that nothing is clear, as if we want to give a bit of, like to remind a little bit what happened with my father, you know. So if we are not seeing anything in terms of, there's nothing to do surgery for it, we don't have a bacteria invasion in the body, you know, something that it doesn't need surgery or a lot of medicine or fast-acting medicine. So here I can help them. So in other term, anything coming from acute disease, so they can benefit, they can depend on medication, fast-acting medication and surgeries. But anything that is coming as a chronic, so chronic pain, chronic disease, metabolic disease, discomfort. So for sure here, when we say chronic, it means we are not seeing, we are not finding what's the problem. So we need to change, we need to go in a different approach. Here I can help them. So the approach is, eventually we look after everything, all the lifestyle of the person. And this is the approach of the Chinese medicine. So we see the lifestyle of the person, the environment of the person, his habits, and to reach himself. So we have our own, in Chinese medicine, our own assessment. So we look what's happening inside of him from the tongue. We have kind of a map on the tongue. We can see the tongue, the organs inside of him, what's happening inside of him. We can see this
from the tongue.
From the tongue, yes.
So a bit like reflexology of the feet, but you can also see it from the...
yeah, but eventually on the feet you cannot, you need to press to see the tender point. But on the tongue we can see, we have a big list on the tongue also. We can see it like the color, the texture of the tongue, if it's white, if it's yellow, if it's swollen, we have teeth marks, the color, eventually it can go from pink to purple color. So all of that, we can know what's happening inside of the body.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it is, and very accurate too. And another thing also, another assessment is through the pulse. So also we have 12 kind of pulse that we can assess to know again what's happening inside of the body in terms of the organs itself. So if we see that, let's say, the pulse of, it's well defined, also a map on the arms, each pulse, it's related to a different or specific organ. So we can see if it's hyperactive, hypoactive, he is slow, he is lazy. So we can assess and we can combine it with the tongue, what we are seeing on the tongue and what we are feeling on the pulse, with the environment, with the energy of the person, with his symptoms, with his story about his struggling with his health. So we gather all the information and we can have a clearer idea of how we can help him. So this is why each doctor or therapist, let's say, he has his own protocols based on his own diagnosis. It's not like an MRI, you know, you have something here, that you have a disc bulge, for example, we are seeing it, then we need to do this. It's not like this. So it's more, you need to gather, you need to analyze as professional therapist, you need to analyze, so you put your own protocol for this specific person, for the specific case, and to put the treatment, the right treatment that you see. So many people, why I'm telling you this, because so many patients, they come to me and they tell me, oh, we've tried acupuncture and it didn't help me. Actually, it's not 1 + 1 = 2 in the Chinese medicine or in acupuncture. First of all, we have 800 points in the body that we can put, we call it acupuncture point, we can put the needles in. And all those points, they are all linked together. they are all related to a specific organs. So we can imagine here which point to choose, because eventually you cannot put 800 needles in the person, you
Yeah.
know. So we need to choose. The doctor needs to choose, okay, I will be having those 20 points, 15 points, 30 points as per my diagnosis. And here, the person, as the diagnosis of the doctor, the acupuncturist, that can work or not. So this is why if you have done acupuncture session before and you didn't have a good result, you can try with someone else, because he will be having completely different approach and different points he will be choosing, and you will be having eventually different results also.
And when does acupuncture help? I mean, when should somebody say, I mean, I know for women, for example, if they have chronic period pains, people who have migraines, so many different ailments, but when is the best time for someone to resort to acupuncture?
Yeah, I love this question, because this is one of the questions that we hear a lot. We work on everything. So, but to make it more clear, because, you know, for us,
But what is everything? Yeah.
for us, it's, we don't see the body as pieces. So we see the body as a whole. So it's one entity. So when I say yes, everything, it's because the heart works with the lungs, works with the stomach. They all works, all the organs, they communicate all together to have our existence, you know, to be able to function properly. So they all work together. So if you tell me, yeah, I have migraine, I can help you. If you tell me I have IBS, digestive issues, I can help you. If you tell me I have period issues, I have menstrual, I have fertility, I have back pain, neck pain, I have arthritis, arthrosis. So all of those are just terminologies for different, let's say, symptoms, or to make it more clear from where it's coming, this pain. But if we have in any case, I will be working on your whole constitution. I will be improving the whole function of your whole body. I will be improving the communication between the whole organs. I will be improving this communication between the meridians. The meridians are the main of the energy circulation, or energy circulation, we call it in different terminology, the electromagnetic field. So this way we can say it's a bit scientific terminology, because nowadays science, it's clear for the science that we are surrounded from inside of us, from outside of us, from the environment, by electromagnetic field. So this is the energy that we talk about. So it's not, again, it's not magic. It's a real, it exists for real. So to improve this, not to have any blockage in the circulation of this energy inside of our body. So we work on this. So if you come in any condition, I will be improving your whole entity. Everything will be, even though we have patients, they come, yeah, I have migraine, I have IBS, I have inflammation,
But these could be
menstruation.
symptoms of something else.
Those are
The
all
root
of them. They
cause
are,
could be something else
yeah,
completely.
they are all connected. So for me, I can see them. It's all connected. It's all. It's not. I will not treat your stomach alone or your migraine alone. I will improve your whole function. This is why nowadays we have something called functional medicine. So the functional medicine It is absolutely like this. It's the Western terminology of the holistic
Yeah.
approach, functional health. So we treat the function of the full body. And this is why, yes, we can work on everything. But most of the time, we can say again, we treat, to be clear for the listeners, all type of pain. So you tell me I have a headache, neck pain, shoulder pain,
knee
stomach pain.
pain.
So any kind of, especially chronic pain, we can improve it, and we have really a high rate of success, and it's very satisfying for me and for the patient.
Strange question, but are most of your clients women?
Most of them, yes. But before answering you, why
there's
you're asking?
there's a reason why I ask that, because you mentioned autoimmune, and actually I like the way that you said it. You didn't use it in a way that is often used in Western medicine, because autoimmune is, of course, the body attacking itself. But you used it in a way where it's really your inside and also your emotional side getting involved. And yes, I read a statistic recently which I found quite shocking. I've also suffered from autoimmune, but 80% of autoimmune sufferers are women. And then the theory behind that is that's because women take on more and they're not as good as at expressing healthy anger. So they're not as good at saying no. They tend to be more people pleasers. And so hence autoimmune, which shouldn't logically and scientifically affect them statistically more than men, and yet it does, 80%. So that's why I asked if a lot of your clients are women.
Yes, there's part of what you said. It's very true. The women are emotional. They engage emotionally almost in everything. And we can say also it's part of their constitution. It's the hormones inside of them. So yes, because they are emotional, because they engage emotionally in everything, they struggle on those autoimmune, which is the body is struggling from the inside. But why I am receiving more women than men? Because again, if you go to the hormones, the testosterone dominance in the man makes him think that he is very strong. He doesn't need any help. He leaves himself literally till he's consumed, or he's in the emergency room to take care of himself.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of...
Which again is a bit of a cultural thing as well, and
eventually, but this is, the dominance of this is in the science, and not just spirituality, so science, this is the behavior of the testosterone dominance, and this is the emotions are the behavior of the estrogen.
Very interesting.
Dominance. So unfortunately, but I hope one day that, and this is what I'm trying to do, and this is why I do those workshops, I do those seminars and conferences, to be able to not just to see one-on-one or to wait for the people to come to me, to try to spread the importance of taking care of ourselves. It's for everyone, for the kids, for the teenagers, for men, women, elder people. So we need to take care of ourselves.
And I think also that's what I try and do as well in my happiness club that I have, to try and remind people that taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's actually quite selfless, because you care about so many people around you. Everybody does. We all care about our children, our family, our spouses, our parents, our friends. But in order to be there for them and really be there for them and be the best version of ourselves, we have to take care of ourselves first. So when people say, oh, but how do you exercise? Or I don't have the time to exercise. I'll always say, well, everybody does. But if you don't have the priority in your life at this point to exercise, that's fine. But then admit it for what it is. It's changing your language.
Absolutely.
And just saying, I won't make it the priority right now because my priority is to pick up my kids myself or to be in the office at this time, which is also fine. But it's just viewing things in a different way. And I'll also say there's, I think it won an Oscar, that lovely book, a mole, a horse, a boy, and what was it? I have to remember the book. It's very, very famous. It's like a coffee table book or a child's book. It's mainly beautiful drawings with some quotes. And then the wisest character in it is the horse, the most grounded. And the mole and the little boy ask, what's the hardest thing you've ever said or done? Or what's the hardest word you've ever uttered? He said, help.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest thing that you can ask to do, to ask someone to help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But sometimes it's the bravest thing because we all need help.
Yeah,
we all need a
absolutely.
mentor. We all need someone.
And this is a sad truth, actually. And I see it with my patients, like whenever I ask them about anything to change in their life, to improve their health and their life, they tell me, I will see if I will have the time. I have this and I have that, but it's crazy. It's just crazy to put ourselves as a second choice, like, we need to help everyone. Then if I will have time, I will help myself, but no, this is the help,
That's
so
the help you need.
you can ask for the help, or you can at least start with thinking about, I need to help myself, as you said, to be able to help the others. Otherwise, one day you will
put on your oxygen mask first, and then
absolutely.
That's what they say. Well, another favorite quote of mine: a person with their health has 1,000 dreams, and a person without their health only has one.
Beautiful.
And that's to get their health back. So
absolutely.
we have to take care of our health to have the 1,000 dreams. Otherwise, the focus is on that. And on that note, what is your favorite quote?
Well, one of the things that, and I have it as a tattoo actually on my body.
Okay. Well, I won't ask you to demonstrate, and I'm not going to ask where it is on your body. That was stripping shame.
So it's be present, be conscious, breathe, and try to keep your mind in the present. So this is because actually if we stay here, I mean in the present, in the now, you can be able to observe what's happening. You can be able to evaluate what behavior I should be doing for me, for the others. What's the behavior that I should get rid of? I should not carry with me from the past, or not to worry about it tomorrow or in a week or in 10 years, So I do it myself. Whenever I feel like I'm struggling with my thoughts, I have a lot of things in my thoughts, maybe coming from yesterday, maybe going into projecting into the future. I do a step backwards and I try to contemplate or observe what's happening as if I'm seeing a patient in front of me. And this is what actually very impressive. Any patient, I always give them this example. I tell them, if a friend of yours will come to you now and will tell you, I'm struggling with this and this and this, can you help me or can you advise? You will be able actually to give him the best advice. But to do it for yourself on yourself, it's not doable, as if it's really far from you. So this is why my advice, and this is what I do on myself and with every patient I see, I tell them, try to, whenever you see yourself overwhelmed with your life responsibilities, take a step back, be present, be conscious, take a deep breath, and try to see and evaluate what's happening, so to be able to logically to say, okay, I should be doing this today. I should be starting to do this this way of living my daily life, you know. So this is something very important, and I put it in a different projection also. We always have the choice to choose to live the real life or to be in the virtual one. What that means is the real life is when you focus on the now. This is what you have between your hands today. This is, if you are a control freak, this is what also I hear a lot. Try to use this control to be able to see, yes, today what I have in my hands, and to work on today, on now, and to be focused and putting all your energy and attention into now, today. And this is the best constructive way to reach your objective and to put on like a clearer idea what's happening in the virtual life, you know, because so many people also, I say the virtual life, I want to be there in 10 years. It's great to put strategies, to put objectives. It's very good. This is purpose of life, and we need to have purpose, but not to stay stuck in the future or stuck
in the past.
So this is the virtual life. So choose to be in the real life, which is today, what you are doing today. This is the most precious present that you have.
And time can go slower when you concentrate on the now.
Absolutely.
Like I feel it a lot. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I really try and, you know, have every minute to, well, maximize every minute of my day, but also to really enjoy it. And then I find even when people say, oh, your kids grow up so quickly, or your eldest is 10, and I'm like, no, I feel that 10 years has passed. It didn't fly by because I really tried. I mean, I think it's, and I was told this the other day, and I thought, what a statement. They said anxiety is when people are worried about tomorrow, and depression is when people were worried about yesterday. And to avoid either of those, which I think 1 in 3 people at the moment suffer from, and it's going up, is just to not think of either and think of today. And what do we have today that we can be grateful for and move with that?
Absolutely. And this is why I'm doing actually my next workshop in Nicosia in November. It will be for teenagers.
Okay, which is so important. The teenagers have been through so much now with COVID. And nobody knows how to deal with it.
And it's sad because I'm seeing them in my practice. They already 20%, as per the studies, 20% of the teenagers, they are on antidepressant. Can you imagine? Wow. It's
because there's a lot of cyberbullying, a lot of expectations. And my kids, one of their friends, she's 8, and she told them, I don't want a picture without a filter.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
8 years old, knowing about filters, and then not accepting a picture. I just, you know, and I told my kids, like, guys, this is not normal. Like, be proud of who you are, however you look like, you know. But I think the expectations are just, it's frightening. And I think they're also in a different, very difficult position, because us as parents, we're the first generation of parents that are bringing up kids, you know, with all of these exteriors around us. No one else has done it. So it's a new world, and it can be very exciting. And I think there's so much potential right now.
Absolutely.
But we have to be very careful of the pitfalls.
And to be aware, you know, of everything. You can try to do everything, to be involved in everything, no problem. It's life without struggles. There's no mean for it, you know.
Yeah.
So we need. This is the fundamental structure of the Chinese medicine. It's the yin and the yang, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah,
we
you
need.
need
You
the
need.
poet needs the pain.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely,
you need the
absolutely.
down. Yeah.
So just to be aware that we can do this and that, but to be aware what to choose, what to do, and to always listen to yourself and to be aware of your behavior, so you can balance it and you can go extreme. Even I am with the extreme, but you can go to the extreme, but don't stay there.
You mean emotionally
Be-
if somebody goes.
yeah, emotionally or as experience, you know, like you can go have a party for, let's say, to 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's an extreme.
But don't
That's
make
not-
it your lifestyle.
But
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
try
you
it
can do
once
it.
and-
Yeah, absolutely.
Cesar, bonus question.
Mm-hmm.
Pick any. Let's see.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. So, Alessia. So this is a previous. So until now, all these questions have been from our team at St. Raphael Resort and Marina. But we're on the second year of Hotel Talk. So we've allowed also guests who have been on the podcast to ask others. They did that at the party, 1 year party. And Alessia, can't remember what episode she was, but it was amazing, asked, what is the craziest thing you've ever done? And we just talked about the extreme. I love that.
Yeah. Well,
So what is it?
so this question, it can go to before having family or after having family.
I'd say
that's different.
before. Come on, well, let's have fun. It's got to be before.
Before.
And it can't be your tattoo because you've already mentioned it.
No, it's not like this. It's actually, let me think about something fun.
The craziest thing you've ever done. Well, you're from Lebanon, so I think the Lebanese have defined the word of crazy.
Look, one of the things that I don't regret, and I hope that my kids, and I will be aware of this, to let my kids to have those experiences, is to live it to the max when you are in your, let's say, in your 20s. And my 20s, it was crazy. I was like everywhere. I experienced everywhere. And even back then, I was always saying, like, I want just to enjoy life. You know, I want to always be happy, to always be surrounded with people, to always be having the extreme of any experience, you know. So this is one of the things that I'm trying nowadays to be aware of my approach with my kids, to let them not to be overprotective on them, because this period before going into the other step of the life, when you are responsible of the family and you have kids and you give all your priority to the family, so you just have yourself, try to live all the experience to the maximum on any level. But again, be aware of, I want to have those experiences as to discover myself and to choose what's the best direction I want it to be for later on. So yeah, I can say in general, the craziest thing, that I had no limits in anything. I was giving it like to the max, and eventually it was a bit of a struggle moment with my parents. You know, they was always like, it's not possible what we are doing. It's very
So what
extreme,
do you mean?
know?
Were you out a lot? Were you partying a lot? Were you
Yeah, of course.
traveling a
to
lot?
being anything. Like I was just having any decision and go with it to the max. You know, so yes.
But what was the one craziest then? If there was one thing that maybe your parents were like, or like,
Um,
beep.
Yeah,
I don't want to
exactly.
say.
Yeah, so crazy a thing.
I have a
Like,
13-year-old child.
yeah, it's not like to go into details at this, but if we want to make it uh, now to be more fair with my
Yeah.
answer, so the craziest thing now recently is how the way I moved to Cyprus. It was a bit crazy. Like,
One day
as
to
I
the
said,
next.
it wasn't, yeah, one day to another. We didn't have any engagement on any level. We just took our stuff and boom, we
Yeah.
just came here. And everybody around us were telling us, you are crazy. How do you do this? How you have family, you have kids. How can you take such a decision and just go with it? So this is kind of me, let's say,
Yeah.
And as you said before, I followed my gut feeling,
Yeah.
and I was really relaxed. I didn't have any worry about this move, this step, and I just went through it. It was a crazy move, yes, and thanks God we succeeded it, and we are very happy.
Oh, and I think everybody on the island is much better for having you here. So
Yeah, thank you so much.
welcome, and we're happy you're here. Thank you for being on Hotel Talk. Thank you for supporting St. Raphael. And I can't wait to see more of you and hear more of everything you're doing and all the events
Thank
that
you
you're
so
planning.
much. Thank you so much, Farah. Again, it's amazing. I love your energy and the energy that you are putting in all your projects. You have a
Thank
lot.
you.
So thank you so much. And yes, sure, hope to see you soon.
For sure. Thank you.